Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Triple Jackhammer Show, the first of many, the best show on SWA. We're going to begin with a movie review. I think you might have heard of this movie before called Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars. I like Star Wars a lot. And the new Force Awakens harkens back to my beginning times when I saw it when I was a little kid. Not that prequel bullshit. I'm talking about the originals. Now, let's talk about how good it really was. First off, Kylo Ren stopping a blaster midair. How cool was that? I need to learn that trick. The whole movie was a great sci-fi shooter slash adventure. But I have to say, it harkened back to the days of Episode 4, where it mirrored a lot of the same things. The ending of a legend. I hope that never happens to me. I don't want to give away too much because it's still early. But to say you must see this movie is an understatement. You must see this movie 2 to 3 times. And if you're a Star Wars fan, well, you should have already seen it 2 to 3 times. And remember, the Force is strong with all of us. Another one of Jackhammer's passions besides crushing ass and beating up little sissies. Yeah, video games. I'm not a PS4 or Xbox guy, I'm both. And I'll tell you, I've been buying a lot of games lately. Yeah, I picked up Rainbow Six Siege, which is a great game, especially if you're a competitive shooter. The thing about it is it doesn't have a lot of depth, so it's not a game that I feel like I'm going to sit there and play the whole time, hours on end. But to jump in and play a couple matches against some other people, breaching some walls and shooting some bad guys is a ton of fun. And terrorist mode is cool. Get you and one of your buddies together and kill a bunch of terrorists, stop a bomb. It's like Die Hard and every other action movie slammed together. But it's realistic. Couple bullets and you're dead. This isn't Call of Duty. This is Rainbow Six. Another game I've been playing is Fallout. Now, I've been playing Fallout 4 for a long time, and I played a lot of it, and the game has a very expansive and open area. I will tell you, it's a fun game with a lot, and I mean a lot of quests. That being said, if you played Fallout 3, the mechanics are very familiar. That's right, it's the same game, just with a different story. No, wait. It's the same story, basically. Except for, instead of you looking for your dad, you're looking for your son. Now, this isn't a parody of a game. It is a very good game. And there's a lot of things to do. They've made it very creative. Build your own shelters. Have sidekicks with you. One of which I love is called Dog Meat. He reminds me of my dog. Doesn't listen very well and always gets into trouble. That being said, if you do like an open-end game like that, a game like this, with the multiple quests like Skyrim or something, Fallout might be your game. Post-apocalyptic. Guns, mutants, and sex. I like any kind of sex. Video game sex is cool too, but I prefer the real thing. Now, there's 2 games that have garnered my attention for playability in short spans since I've had a very busy schedule lately. One of those games is Just Cause 3. I've got to say, Just Cause 3 is a very open-ended world. You can shoot things, blow up things, drive things, race things, fly things, stunt on things, you name it, you can do it. The great thing about this game, however, is you don't have to worry about the story. So you can buy, yourself 3 hours of time to play it, and then come back 2 days later, and who cares? Is that a building over there? I want to blow it up. Multiple guns, different rockets. It's been a lot of fun for me. Shallow fun. And sometimes, even Triple Jackhammer gets a little shallow. Another game that I can tell you about that I think is like that is Battlefront. Star Wars Battlefront. Yes, one of my favorite movies of all time has now got a game. And it's got a game that was around when I was younger as well, too. That being said, Battlefront here is a little bit different. Better graphics, more shooting. Not as much interaction between everything, but you have a lot to do. You can run around as a stormtrooper. You could be in an AT-AT. You could be in a snow speeder. And again, no story. Now, there's only a couple maps, a couple game modes right now, but they're promising more. And I believe it. I think to get the full brunt of the game, you're going to have to spend about $110. Unfortunately, that's a lot for some people. Not me, because I'm Triple Jackhammer and I make a lot of money. But again, if I would tell anybody to buy a game, I don't know if I'd say to buy this one unless you're a true Star Wars fan. Same thing with Just Cause 3. Unless you like just being creative and randomly running around, don't buy that game. Buy Fallout. Buy a game even like Assassin's Creed if you're into it. I've got plenty of games to talk about. So during a segment called Ask Triple Jackhammer, you can ask me to review a game. Ask me to review a game from the past. I don't mind. A movie from the past. I don't mind. Or ask me to kick someone's ass. I'll do that too.
Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and let everyone make. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You must not get up. The country must be countrywide. In every state, there's a station playing Cash, Hank, Willie, and Waylon. Foreign cars and four-wheel drives.
So if the fans want to know what Triple Jackhammer likes, what he wants to do with his life, and all these other things, so we have Q&A for that. First question is, what belt do you think the WWE should bring back? Well, I'd say the Hardcore Championship. That was a great belt, and they can pull it off right again, I think. It's a great belt, actually. I want the belt. I don't really watch other promotions besides WWE. I like some of the local guys at the local areas that I go to. I also, when I travel out of town, will sometimes see those wrestlers, but the WWE is probably the best around right now. Which leads me to my favorite tag team of all time, and that's the Road Warriors. Why? They've owned every belt. Everybody wanted to copy them. Everybody wanted to be them. Heck, Demolition copied them. They are the greatest. If there was one thing in the WWE that I could change, I would change the rating. Not make it PG anymore. Make it PG-13. PG-13 is probably the best you're going to find out of all that. Doesn't need to be rated R, but would be kind of neat to see some rated R wrestling, wouldn't it? Here's something near and dear to my heart, excuse me, is PlayStation or Xbox. Right now I'd have to say it's PlayStation. I like them both, I have both, but the PlayStation just seems to be the better system in my opinion, and it's got the better exclusives right now. Halo was good, but it wasn't as good as Until Dawn. It wasn't as good as Infamous. In fact, it wasn't even that good, let's be honest. Halo 5 needed some work. Out of all the WWE games that I like, though, and my favorite is probably Here Comes the Pain. That was a great jaunt of different things you could do by just playing the game a little bit differently, and it opened up stories that you didn't know were possible, much like the old No Mercy. Otherwise, I'd say some of the newer games are getting pretty good. They get pretty easy overall, though, and it's unfortunate, but Here Comes the Pain, that was really a lot of fun and a lot of interesting stories that you can get involved with. I've got a ton of favorite movies, and that's what the question's about, is what's my favorite movie. And I like a lot of these Marvel movies. I'd have to say the first Avengers is one of my favorites. I'd have to say Mad Max Fury Road is one of my favorites, but it's hard to pin them down. Even the new Star Wars is fantastic, one of my favorites. Don't pin me down to a movie, because no one else can pin me. My goals in the SWA, speaking of not being able to be pinned, are to dominate. Dominate and destroy. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna own SWA. And I might make it rated R wrestling. That's all for this Q&A. This is Jackhammer signing out. And remember, nobody does it better than a triple jackhammer. So in conclusion to all that we've talked about, the Triple Jackhammer show has just started. We're just getting our material together. It's going to be a good show, though, and it's going to be made better with people like you. Now, this goes out to a little 10-year-old. Always likes Cena a lot. You might know who you are. I had to block you on Twitter. I'll unblock you. Just stop talking about that sissy all the time. You want to talk about how great he is? I get it. But you know what? Triple Jackhammer's great, too. And Triple Jackhammer has a job. And it's to kick people's ass and piss people off. I think I did it to you. And it worked. I did my job. Now you do your job and be a fan and let us wrestle. Damn, even my dog got pissed off and started barking. This is great. I love my dog meat.